Good afternoon. Can you hear me? Good afternoon. Thank you for coming. My name's Pat Monson. I'm the chair of the Desert Oasis Renovation Committee. We are here this afternoon to let you know what's been going on and what the plans are and what's happening so that you are up to the minute. I'd like to introduce the rest of the committee. Besides me, there's Marilyn Stagg, Marcia Scholes, Don Tizer in the back, and Rich Oakes. Our board liaison is Mr. Ted Hood sitting up front here, and our staff liaison is Robin Coulter. Before we begin, I'd like to tell you that we do have comment cards available to you if you want to raise your hands at all during this process. Someone will bring you a card and you can fill it out and we'll collect them later and try to answer any questions you have to your satisfaction. Rich will be taking the lead today to explain the origins of the committee and where we are at this point. Mr. Rich Oakes.
Thanks, Pat. Well, first let's talk a little bit about the history of the Desert Oasis. The building was built in 1992, and as far as we know, there haven't been any major renovations. Restrooms, meeting rooms, we just haven't, even the furnishings, we haven't had any major renovations. However, like all facilities here at Sun City, the building has been very well maintained. Let's talk a little bit about usage, and I don't know if everyone's aware of this, but the building is open 90 hours a week, 14 hours on weekdays, 11 hours on Saturday, and 9 hours on Sunday. And 31 organizations and clubs meet at the facility every month. Many of those organizations meet more than once a month. Many meet weekly, actually. And we found out that many people actually attend more than one session or one meeting a week or a month at the facility. Looking at it annually, we found that there were over 23,000 card swipes at the facility during the past year. So, built in 1992, not renovated, heavily used. The decision was made to look at renovating the building. And the objective of our committee was to design and implement a plan that would bring Desert Oasis up to Sun City quality standards. Very important, the renovation itself, we're just talking about the building itself. We're not talking about the swimming pool, the basketball court, or the tennis courts. We're just talking about the building itself, and the project is to be completed without a special assessment. It'll be financed through the capital fund. So what did we do on the committee? Well, we listened a lot to residents. We started out by touring the building and looking at how it was used and how many card swipes we had and how often the building was open. But one of the things we did is we listened to comments and suggestions from the community. And we solicited these comments a couple different ways. One way was through the general manager's weekly This Week in SCOV email. Another way was by notices on the facility itself soliciting input. And I'm glad to say we received a lot of input. We received a lot of comments, a lot of suggestions. Some of those suggestions were via email, some were in the form of a list where people would actually give us a list, which was very helpful. And we had many people actually attend our meetings, individuals, neighbors, and some of the organizations actually attended our meetings. And at the end of gathering that information, we had a list of over 60 suggested ideas for the renovation. We took that list of 60 ideas and we talked with the contractor, W.E. O'Neill, and we asked them for a proposal. Not a proposal, we asked them for a budget estimate. We received that budget estimate, and then we went and hired an architect and an interior designer to come up with a schematic and some ideas for the interior design. We received that information, we went over it with those vendors a couple times, and then we met with the architect, interior designer, and contractor to make sure we were all on the same page. And we found out we were on the same page, and we got to the place today where we can go over what it is we have in mind. So with that, I'll turn it back over to Pat with another reminder. If you have any questions, please grab one of these cards and fill it out. So I'll turn it back over to Pat.
All right, the discovery phase of our Desert Oasis renovation project is now complete. My task today is to walk you through the changes and improvements that the committee recommends. Currently, if you want to go to the pool at the Desert Oasis, you go through the main middle doors, you walk through the entire building. If you're not in your swimsuit, you stop in the bathroom and do that and put some clothes in, store them in a locker, walk out to the pool, find out where the shower is, it's enclosed, and then start swimming. If you feel the need to use the bathrooms again, you get out of the pool, walk through into the facility, and go back to the bathrooms in there. It's just not the handiest way to go to a pool. So to improve the traffic pattern of this recreational center, we've created a second entrance. The new card reader entrance takes a person directly into the pool area. We are going to have 2 new shower/changing rooms, and then lockers outdoors available to store your clothing. 2 rinse-off showers, such as the ones that we have now in the AFC, will be available for you to use before you jump into the pool. We're going to have a water fountain with one of those great bottle fillers that are so popular nowadays. That will be outside. But the main thing having to do with bathrooms is the addition of a new bathroom outdoors. And as you can see, it's up in the eastern corner outdoors. And you say, why is it so far away from perhaps the dressing rooms? Well, the main reason we did that is that that is an existing roofed area, and we felt that it was a good place to put the bathroom because the roof was already on, so all we have to do is add 3 doors and the plumbing for the bathroom. Speaking of bathrooms, let's go inside and check out the ones that are already there. We're going to add a water closet and all new interiors into that room. We're not going to reconfigure it or anything. It works fine, but new interior finishes. There still will be a little central area there. If you do want to change clothes in there, you can do it. Outside the doorway of the bathrooms, we have 2 storage cabinets and another water fountain with a fill-up for plastic bottles available in it. And in the corner there in the utility, that's where the water heater is right now, up in the ceiling. Who knew? Why? We don't know, but we're going to replace it with a bigger water heater. Okay, now we're going to move on to the Ocotillo room and the storage room. Storage room holds the electricity for the building, so that's something that's going to stay exactly where it is. What we've done is close up a door, single door, that's existing, and put in a new double door into the storage area. That room is constantly being used for tables and chairs being wheeled in and out by the monitors, and to have everything constantly reconfigured. And so this double entry to a storage room is going to help them out a lot, and we'll be able to fit more in there if needed. Also in this Ocotillo room, we're going to add a set of French doors, new ones, that will access into the lobby of the building. In order to serve some beverages and snacks in this busy room, we're going to install a corner counter that will have storage cabinets underneath of it. And then there's this window between the Ocotillo room and the lobby that has absolutely no meaning. We're going to close that off. After this, we're going to move into the kitchen. All new appliances and cabinets will be installed, and those are going to be paid for by Sun City and installed by the general contractor, so that we have a handle on the expenses of those. We're going to put in another pocket door right there so that we get rid of that door opening into the small space. It just makes a lot more sense. Now we move into the last two spaces in the Oasis. Didn't know that right. The Saguaro room on the left will be refreshed, as everything else will in the building, with new paint, lighting, fans, and floor treatment. In the Saguaro and Ocotillo rooms, we have specified quality carpet tiles, just as we have installed in other spaces here at Sun City, and it's worked out very well because of the flexibility. The committee would like to replace the storefront glass wall in the Saguaro room with a stackable set of glass doors similar to those installed in our new lounge. I'm sure you're familiar with those. It brings, in the lounge area, it brings the outdoors inside. Here, it's opening up a room so we can use it maybe for something else. Committee, okay, let's move on into the lobby. The flooring in the lobby will be a little bit different. We're trying to change it into a wood look porcelain tile. It's easy to maintain and is durable. The east wall, where the window that was removed used to be, will have a stacked stone section in it with an electric fireplace opening. I know you've probably seen these all over the place, and if you've gone to any model homes lately, that's the feature. It's a fireplace insert that can be maybe 50 inches wide. It's about this high, and it just sticks in there, and it's an electric fire. And what it does, it brings ambiance, and it's a great amenity. Thank you. In the monitor's desk, it will remain the same kind of configuration as it is now, because it really works well for the monitor. And she has a lot of room to spread out and make copies for people, and has storage and so on. But we will have her in a new style and new equipment. So as Rich mentioned in his introduction, we're very aware of the concerns of our residents / our users of this Desert Oasis. Our interests from the start have been to work on solving seating, cooling, lighting, and comfort. And all these issues were brought to our attention, and we did listen. So to close this part, I ask you to view these last two rooms, the Saguaro room and the lobby. Picture how they'd look in the evening. You've reserved this area for a private party that you've decided to give. Don't want to give it at home anymore. It's too much work. You can't have that many people. So you can have a private party. The movable doors are open between the Sawara room and the lobby. Tables are set in the Sawara room. Overhead ceiling lights are dimmed. There's a fire in the fireplace. And dinner's waiting for you and your guests on the buffet, which is really, in reality, the monitor's desk during the day. We can now offer a special amenity here at Sun City Oro Valley that we haven't been able to offer before. Over here is the design board of colors that we're thinking of right now. Nothing is finalized. We still have a ways to go as far as picking fabrics and colors, but what we've been working on, what I've been telling you about, are the main changes that we're looking for in the actual building itself. So this will come a little bit later. It will evolve a little, and we will be sure it's available for you to see somewhere here at Sun City, either at the Desert Oasis or in the administration building. I'm not sure which. And the rendering, which would be the actual picture digitally fixed of how it's going to look, that has to wait too until we've picked out specific couch and chair and table and so forth. We're just trying to get you on board as to where we are and what we've been doing. So thank you for your attention. If you have any questions, don't forget to pass them out to one of our members. And now Robin is going to discuss financing.
Okay, the project is going to be around $385,000. That is the estimate at this point. That includes the construction cost, and within the construction cost, that includes things like replacing the lighting with energy efficient lighting, replacing the ceiling tiles, updating all of the flooring and the finishes on the wall, the restrooms, and the 4 showers that are outside, including the 2 that are enclosed. One of them is ADA compliant, and then the exterior restroom. It includes the cost for the architect and the designer fees. It also, this price includes everything that Sun City is going to be purchasing. So when you heard Pat talk about us purchasing new appliances for the restroom or the water fountains, bike racks, those type of items, that's also included in this, as well as permits and a contingency. So what is next? We are getting ready to present the project after we've heard what you've had to say today. We will gather your thoughts and comments today, and we'll go back to the board. We will ask for approval for the entire project for that $385,000 at the Thursday, June 8th board meeting. The architect then has told us that it will take 2.5 months for the construction, for permitting through the town of Oro Valley. So we will be submitting the construction drawings to the town, and then once they are approved, and the permit is issued, they are indicating that it'll take 10 weeks, 9 to 10 weeks for construction. So it looks like we'll start towards the end of August. If it takes the entire 2.5 months for permitting, then construction would start towards the end of August, and then we would be done about the beginning of November. So I know you have lots of questions. We tried to anticipate some of them here just to hit off our question and answer time. One of them was, will the building be closed during construction? And it will be closed during this time. All the flooring is going to be removed, the tiling will be popped up, the restrooms will be inoperable, there'll be dust, it will be, you know, an unsafe and undesirable place to be during that time, so it will be closed. The pool, because of the addition of the gate entry, will be available. We know that the contractors are going to be building a restroom out there and building showers, and they will have construction traffic going in and out of the same gate that our residents will be using to use the pool. And if we find that it creates unsafe or undesirable conditions for our residents, the pool will be closed if that exists. So now, it is time for question and answer. So the first question is, what are the plans for the costume room? And I know a lot of people are interested in that. That is a highly used amenity in our community, and it's well loved. And so the plans right now is, with the Desert Oasis Renovation Committee, they took a look at that area, and they felt like that space was needed for storage. And so they went to the board and indicated that that is what they felt like needed to happen in that area. And the board agreed, and then they went to staff and said, figure out what's supposed to happen with that costume room. So staff is working on what will be happening with that. We don't have all the plans yet, but we will be meeting with the leaders of those groups, of that group, to have a discussion about what we can do. We're not sure if it's a permanent or a temporary type of a solution, but we will work to make sure that we have that amenity available to us, and work to get everything moved out of there during the construction time. So we will be working with them shortly on that.
Thank you. Was there any competitive bidding with the architectural firm, contractors, et cetera?
Okay, so competitive bidding came up. There was not competitive bidding with the architects. No. And but there will be, the construction contract has not been let yet, and so there is the potential for having competitive bidding on the construction project, the contractor. If we go that route, it will push the project back past that timeline that I mentioned earlier, and possibly delay it till next summer, because it begins to get into high season during the Desert Oasis, or during the season for us. So what has kind of happened with that is when we did the restaurant project, or when we did the pro shop project, we went out for competitive bids, and we took the low bidder on that, and the contractor, it was a real challenge for everyone that was involved with that, and we struggled through that project, and when it came time for the restaurant project, we got bids on that one as well. We did not go with the low bid on that project, but we ended up going with O'Neill, who had built the Aquatic and Fitness Center for us. We were very happy with the way the Aquatic and Fitness Center turned out. We were happy with what happened with the restaurant. So for this project, we were hoping to try to go with O'Neill, and so for that reason and for the timing, we're recommending to go with O'Neill. The board may ask us to get competitive bids, but at this point, this is what our recommendation is going to be.
Next question also relates to you, but I think you have a good answer. Will all clubs and groups normally using the rooms at the Desert Oasis have a place to operate during renovations?
Coco will work her magic and rearrange everyone into other rooms. So there will be another place for all of those groups to meet.
So the answer is yes.
Yes.
We have a couple questions about the fireplace. Most of them relate to why a fireplace. I was a little bit surprised about this myself. The cost of the fireplace is very small. What is it, like
it's
$1,200 or something?
Or even less than that. It's very negligible. It was my idea. I'm guilty, and I admit it. Thank you. All right, here's the thought behind it. There are buildings here that are more welcoming to kind of a homey look to them, or a place where you'd like to hang out with your friends. I thought we needed something like that at the Desert Oasis. Catalina Vista, to me, is well kept. It's functional. It's got a lot going for it, but it doesn't have that one area that I think we needed here. And so I proposed it, and it's electric fireplace, and it's not expensive, and the stacked stone is something that it fits in well. it will make us here look like we're kind of with it as far as what's going on in the rest of the world with areas. And so that's why I proposed it. And so far it's gotten a pretty positive, well, in any case, that's how it originated.
Okay. The pool isn't included. Are there any plans to update the pool? No, there are no plans to update the pool.
That was beyond the scope of what we considered for this project. So at this time, there are no plans to update the pool.
Okay, when will the tennis and basketball courts be looked at? We don't have any plans for that right now, right?
That was not a part of our project, so.
Okay, we have a lot more questions, so stay tuned. Will we have ceiling fans? The answer to that is ventilation was a big issue, a big issue with a lot of the comments we have. And the answer to that is yes, there will be some kind of fans to circulate air. Try to imagine the height of the ceiling at the Desert Oasis. We're not sure we can actually do ceiling fans. They might be a different type of installed fan, but that will be addressed. Can guests have a sign-in outside the monitor station, not indoors? This is the new access, the new entrance.
Card reader?
The new card reader.
So there will be a podium outside as guests come in through that gate. There'll be a podium there for you to sign your guests in. Residents are required to sign their guests in, and there'll be a location for you to do that right there inside the gate.
And there's a comment here, I think swimmers should be encouraged to not come inside. That's one of our objectives, to have all the facilities available for people using the pool outside.
No more slippery floors, hopefully, in the inside of the building.
And the monitors can still see everybody.
Yes.
Yeah. There's a question about the divider in the Ocotillo room, and will there be two different doors? I don't know if you noticed on the plan, that divider that formerly had, or that track in the ceiling that formerly had a divider will be eliminated. And in the Ocotillo room will be one, there it is right there. Yeah, that divider track between the two halves of the Ocotillo room will be eliminated. Is there any storage in the Saguaro room? I don't think there is.
Well, the storage, there's here, 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 and then below these cabinets now. These are already existing.
The Saguaro room.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah.
No, we don't have anything planned, but that's something that, if necessary, could be added at a later date. It seemed to be that the chairs and the tables were a big thing to be able to manage, and just a place for a table to put out pitchers of water and refreshments, but nobody mentioned anything that was a great need in the Saguaro room, so we just thought, we'll see how it goes.
And additionally, there'll be all of this now that will be storage, so they'll have some room in there for things that don't need to have immediate access.
There's a question about what is the square footage of the building?
3,568 square feet. I know these things, I just do.
I'm impressed.
Thank you.
Will we have comfort toilets? I'm thinking everything will be designed to be ADA compliant.
And that comfort height.
Yeah.
Oh, the comfort height. Yes,
height, yeah.
definitely.
Lazy River water walk in the pool. Since the pool's not part of the program, we didn't, that's not being addressed.
Lazy River has been mentioned to us,
Yeah.
though, and that's something that, you know, how we have long-range planning committees. I was on one once, and they really plan for way out there, and that's something that would probably go to them for the future.
Is there an overhead load and unload provision for handicap walkers and wheelchairs in the heavy rain periods? I'm assuming that's a question, are we going to have additional outside roofs over the entrance? And the answer is no, this program doesn't include that.
Okay, so what he's asking is if somebody, as they're riding up in front of the building here, if this area is going to be extended so that someone being let off at the curb will walk in under a covered area. And at this point, that is not a part of this plan.
There's no overhead.
This is the first time we actually had anybody bring that up
Yeah,
as an
it's
issue.
the first time we've heard that.
We'll write it down and we'll have a conversation about it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a fair question. This is a question for you, Pat.
All right.
You're not going to be able to answer it, though. How many people can attend a private event at Desert Oasis?
Oh, wow.
Well, 44 go in that, Castillo.
Yes, and it always depends on, you know, what the fire marshal's laws are or whatever, but we've certainly improved the exit from the room of the saguaro room by if we have the movable wall open. I mean, I have no idea. I would guess maybe about 80, 85 people could be in those two rooms for an event, but I don't know.
Well, as they go through the permitting process, the occupancy load will be listed on the architectural plans. We'll know exactly what those are.
Yeah.
We've tried to find them in the past from our old Dell Web plans and haven't had them. So it'll be nice to have that information, and they'll be posted on the doors accordingly.
The next question is one we considered. Has a TV been considered?
Yes.
Some like to gather and watch football or tennis. We thought about that, and we decided this probably wasn't the best place for it. Is that?
Yes, that's what we thought. We thought in the future perhaps the countertop near the pool, under the windows, near where the monitor is, right there, could have an information television that would let people know, I know Saddlebrook has a few of them, what's going on and what's coming up and what the specials are at the restaurant and things like that, kind of an informative thing just for residents, but we didn't figure on a regular television at all at this time.
Next question. What established the priority to do this project? Speaking from the committee's point of view, the priorities were set by the feedback we got from residents.
Well, and then, and I'll talk about projects in whole in our community. Several years back, there was a plan laid out that looked at the capital fund, and it looked at the different projects that needed to be done around the community, and there was a priority list set up of the projects, and then there was funding that was set up on the capital fund, and so they kind of all fell in there according to when we could do them without an assessment to the community, and this was the year that the Desert Oasis could be funded without an assessment to the community through the capital fund. So that's another part of the prioritization that occurred.
Kind of a related question, does the $385,000 include the $20,000 already spent or allocated?
It does.
Next, I guess this is a comment, can we justify the cost of the sliding glass doors? If you like sliding glass doors, yes.
Well, that was one of the things that we've asked to be on a separate line item, and as the board looks at the project, they know that that sliding glass door is an expensive a piece, and it can be taken out. We're not committed to it at this time. So that will be something that will be considered when the board looks at the project.
Next question, if the project can't start this August or September, would it be delayed until the summer months of 2018?
So that would make more sense because our community, the usage of that building declines during the slower months, the summer months. So we're already kind of nudging into that higher usage season. It picks up in October, and so we're right there in October the way it's set up now. So if there is a delay, then we'll pick it back up, next year.
This one starts by saying very nice. I want to point that out. The question is, have we thought about covering part of the pool? And the pool wasn't part of this program, so we didn't consider any additional enhancements to the pool itself. But thank you for that comment. Next one's a comment, please install picture/painting molding wherever possible. We appreciate the comment. We haven't gotten to that point yet.
I think
It's there
there's
now.
picture and painting molding already there.
There
So
is.
if there's a place that you think it needs to be where it's not, let me know, and we can talk about that.
Next question is with regard to the pool furniture. Please make chaises the same height as at the Aquatic and Fitness Center pool, which are 6 inches higher than the ones at the existing Desert Oasis.
We are conscious of the height of the pool furniture, definitely. Of course, that's why we're conscious of it.
Well, no, we're not doing
allowed
anything
in
on the
the
pool
pool.
itself, like putting in a diving board. Probably had a diving board when it was new. Early, yeah, right.
Okay.
Okay. Here's another one. Storage room, good idea. Lobby and saguaro room, great idea to have a party room. Thank you for that comment. I really liked all the suggestions. Thank you for those comments. It's about the picture, chaises. Yeah. I think that concludes all of the questions. If I missed one, let me know. Okay.
Yeah, there's one over here. Is the new air conditioning heat installation in the price?
Is new AC heat included in the price? No, we haven't. We don't have any enhancements to the existing HVAC system.
We haven't had a chance to yet really talking. I mean, we know it, and I mentioned it in what we heard from all the people that do go and do activities there. So it hasn't been forgotten. It's just that specifically hasn't been mentioned yet, or where the fans are going to be located, but we're having fans. So we know about a lot of stuff, but we don't know exactly how it's going to be changed.
Yeah, so I was going to repeat it after he got done. That was the purpose of the fans that were going to go in the rooms. They may be sitting up on the wall and circulating the air or the heat or the cooled air to try to create a more uniformed feel in that room. Also, that's just a regular part of the maintenance. That the air conditioning in a building is just a part of our regular asset reserve maintenance process. And if there's some issues there that we can deal with even before, well, not before, but we will make sure that those get taken care of.
And one final thing, rooms like the Yokotillo and Saguaro rooms, are they currently booked most nights?
So if you recall back on one of Rich's slides, he talked about the usage of the facility, and it would depend on the time of year and probably the day of week. I know there are certain groups that are in there during the day every week, some of them twice a week. So the best way to look at that, there's two ways to look at that, is to go on our calendar and to pull up the Ocotillo room or the Saguaro room, and you can see what the usage is in there, or if it's available the day that you might want it. Or you can go talk to our facilities coordinator, Coco Sullivan, and she can help you to determine whether or not it's available. Are you? Okay, so her concern was that during the high season, that the rooms are already booked and they would not be available for use by a party. One of the things that we suggested using them for the two rooms. And so how are we going to address the fact that the room may not be available?
Go ahead. One of the things that we do have available that we haven't, that's fairly new, is the fact that we can close off our restaurant, too. And use the lounge and the bar. I mean, we have more flexibility as far as entertaining is concerned than we did a couple of years ago. So I think a lot of it is just how early on can you plan for what you're trying to accomplish, and what kind of party you want to have and how many people as to where it's going to be. But this was a start of making a bigger area available in one of our satellite areas. And I know that Catalina Vista hosts a lot of parties. Gourmet Club used to meet there. I think they still do.
Again, thank you for all the questions. The number of questions we received today is very consistent with the response we received from the community when we asked for comments. So it's nice that there are a lot of people involved and a lot of people want to share their comments. So thank you very much.